Hello YouTube, we are back for another upload in relation to Thrilling Comics number 18. So what are we going to do now? What are we going to do with this upload? Okay, last upload we took the staples. There was some debate in the community in relation to whether the staples were factory. I do think that they are factory, personally. So check out the debate, Collecting Chaos, another great channel. Go check his channel out, and he left a long commentary about why he feels that it wasn't factory. But again, we have different views, and that's why it's a wonderful community, because we can talk about the issues. And I read his commentary, and I'm not saying he's wrong, but I don't know. And the only way that we'll ever find out if they were the factory staples, I guess, would be if we were at the factory when it happened. But if you can see right here, this is the holes that were generated as a result of the bottom staple, and they were very close. So I think it was just a factory error, boom, 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 however they stapled it at the time. But again, like I said, we don't know. So what are we gonna do? The interior of the book is in pretty good shape. So I don't wanna go crazy in doing a lot of conservation on the inside if I don't have to. We're not going to make it a brand new book. So as I've said many times in the past in relation to me working on these books, is that the centerfold, and here's tape actually I just saw right here, so we're gonna have to address that. The centerfold and the first wrap are the most important wraps in relation to working on these books, because the centerfold is the anchor that holds the staples in, and the first wrap is what supports all the other wraps right after the cover. So the first thing that I feel that we have to do with this is we're going to have to lay it flat. And the reason why we need to lay it flat is because we are either going to leaf cast the first wrap. I know I said that I wasn't going to, but I may not. I don't know yet. We're going to see how it turns out. But what I want to do, like I said, is I want to at least lay it flat, because any repair that is done, whether Tengojo, Mulberry, or whatever, we are going to have a flat book so we can deal with it. Deal with the repairs. So how are we going to flatten this out? Being that this is a real old book, we all know how old it is, we want to try to do it in a way that is not going to further rip the spine of the book. You just can't start pushing it down and going crazy like that. We're not crazy in Jerry the Jitterbugs channel, although at sometimes I may be a little crazy, like when I rinse books in the sink upstairs right before my wife makes broccoli rabe and other vegetables, and she's cleaning them in the sink. I don't tell her I did it, because she would be very upset knowing that there was chemicals. Or when I rinse books in my bathtub, I'm crazy doing that as well. And then we take baths at times. So don't tell anyone. I hope she doesn't watch this. Okay, so here's my steamer. Look at that. Nice steam. And you see I'm by myself today, so I'm being extra crazy and loud. So what I want to do is I want to gently steam the book. Gently put some moisture, and when I say book, I mean cover. Gently put some nice steam, relaxing the paper, letting it just absorb the moisture. Probably this hasn't had any moisture on it for quite some time, if never, because I don't see any water damage in this book. So we're gently gonna steam it just like I'm doing. Okay, we're not really being very aggressive with this. And then I'm gonna slowly push down the center like this. See how nice I'm doing it? We'll steam it up. And what I wanna try to do is I wanna try to position the broken pieces of the spine. And you'll see in a second, I'm gonna flatten it with one of my pieces of glass, but we're just slowly giving nice humidity, warm humidity to the front wrap, and then slowly pushing it down. Now that looks pretty good. So what I want to do now is I want to just slowly pull it apart, and we got a pretty bad crease there. And then also I want to see, do we have any meat on the top? Because sometimes if it's folded, we can put it in place, and I don't see anything. So there is paper loss, which is fine. But this guy right here, I want to see if I can flatten that a little bit better. So let me just put a little bit more humidity. And we're going to slowly get this bad boy cover, the Black Terror. Look at that. This is some history in this book, isn't it? There we go. Now what I want to do is I'm going to put a piece of Rimet, just like that. And then I'm going to shut off my steamer on the side. And then what we're going to do is I'm just going to place a piece of glass gently on the spine like that. Okay? And we're just going to let this sit. I'll let it sit most likely for about 15-20 minutes, just to let it lay flat a little bit. And then I'll come back. And then what we're going to do is I am going to soak the cover just in plain water, just to give it a little bath. I'm not going to try to make it where it's bright white with lights and peroxide and all that jazz, and it's not going to happen. But I do use chemicals, as we all know, so, you know, chloramine T, I do use it, but we don't want to make it super bright white. Okay, and that's why I like the chloramine T, because I can control it and I can lighten the pages as I see fit, because it's not a brand new book, and I don't think these pages were ever super white to begin with. So I'll be right back. We're gonna let this sit for 15 minutes and then we're gonna soak it.